Hello friends, welcome back. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about how to build a job using GitHub Webhook. So this is one of the concept we missed while building our jobs, and DSL jobs. Then pipeline scripts. I don't think so we can cover pipeline scripts today, but if time permits, we'll go there. And also integrating Artifactory with Jenkins. In previous class, we tried to do this one and there was a bit of confusion. So I'm going to cover pipeline scripts and integrating Artifactory with Jenkins in next class. So in today's class, we are going to see build a job using GitHub Webhook and DSL jobs. Let's jump into our Jenkins console. So this is our Jenkins console. Why it is still running? Let me refresh it. It's still running. Okay, this is ninth job, right? Ninth build. Okay, let it run. Okay, so assume that let's take an example that hello world. Okay, so in the hello world program, what I'm doing is whenever there is a new code, I need to come here and build it. I need to come here and build it. Rather than this one, I I I have another option where I can use the Polysiem. So in the Polysiem case, what happens whenever there is change in the code, it is going to poll for every uh, what I can say every timeline which we have given in the Polysiem through the cron job, and in that particular period of time it finds any changes in your GitHub repository. It takes that code and do a build. Apart from that, we have one more option, that is GitHub Webhook. So the difference between GitHub Webhook and Polysiem is, in Polysiem case, let's take an example that, so in the build triggers, if I enable Polysiem, what happens? You need to do the schedule. According to the schedule, your Jenkins has to go to your GitHub and validate the Git repository whether there is any changes or not and do the build. But in case if we are using GitHub Webhook, this option, in this case, your GitHub itself will tell to your Jenkins that I have new code. I have new code, so you can build it. So it is a reverse way rather than Jenkins go and validate it. Okay, I have a image. Yep. In this case, so if I take the Polysiem, in Polysiem case, Jenkins has to go and talk with GitHub and check it out whether there is any changes in your GitHub or not. But in GitHub Webhook, GitHub will go and communicate with Jenkins that I have new changes. Please execute the build. Please execute the build. So that is how the GitHub is going to tell to our Jenkins. So to enable this one, we have option in GitHub Jenkins job itself, that is GitHub hook trigger for Git SEM polling. So if you choose this option, what will happen whenever there is any changes in your GitHub tells to your Jenkins job that, okay, boss, you have chosen this option. So I have few changes in my repository. So please execute it. Please execute it. So this is one of the good option in case your code you are not pushing or your GitHub is not updated frequently. Why? Because if your code is not updated frequently, if you go with the poll SEM, then there may be a problem that your Jenkins has to go and check your GitHub each and every time according to the timelines. But if this is the case, your Jenkins Git itself will come and tells you that, okay, I have some changes. So that is the advantage. Again, it is a project necessity, which one you should go. Either you need to build what I can say normally, or you need to build, or you need to do the Polysiem, or, or use the GitHub webhook, or build after other projects. Like this, according to the project necessity, you are going to do this. So now in our case, what we are doing is we are going to our GitHub and we are enabling GitHub webhook. For that, you need to do one more configuration. Okay, just changing over here doesn't help you if you change the code. So let's save our job. Just we have done that GitHub webhook, and if you see, this is the repository I'm using. So if I change anything in this repository, this job should get execute. This particular job should get execute, and nothing we are doing. Just we need to see that it could able to pull the code. If you want to do some build, still you can do the build. What I can say, I am going to enable build as well then. So this is a Maven project, so we can use the invoke top level Maven and the default Maven, and goal is clean install. Okay, I'm building this job. It should clone the repository and it should build, apply and save. That's it. So now my job is ready, and so far only two executors are there. I mean to say, two times we have built this job, and if I go and change something in my code, third build should execute. But before doing this one, even you need to tell to your GitHub that if there is any changes, you need to tell to your Jenkins. So far we told that in this repository, I mean to say, in this repository, any changes are there, our Jenkins job should trigger. That is what we told. But at the same time, I need to tell to my repository also that, boss, if there is any changes, please intimate to the your Jenkins server. That is what you need to tell. Currently, this GitHub repository doesn't know to which Jenkins server should I need to tell. Which Jenkins server should I need to tell? That's the reason you need to go to settings. You need to go to settings, and if you scroll down, you can see a option called webhooks. You can see a option called webhooks. Click over here and add webhook. Here you need to add a webhook. So if you click on add webhook, it displays that payload URL. Payload URL nothing but your Jenkins server. So which Jenkins server should I need to intimate whenever there is any changes? So you need to go here and take your Jenkins server IP address with port number. So this is your Jenkins server, right? So not here. Yep. So here you need to give your Jenkins server URL, and also at the end you need to add GitHub webhook. Okay, GitHub webhook slash. Okay, so this is the additional stuff you need to give for your particular job. So you need to give slash GitHub webhook slash, and don't miss this slash. If you do miss this slash, it won't able to communicate with your GitHub server. So you must add this GitHub webhook slash. Once you have done, the content type is application and JSON you should choose. Application and JSON. Once you have chosen, you need to add your webhook. Once you add webhook, you can see here why it could not able to communicate HTTP.
Spelling mistake.
Okay,
Webhook.
sorry. Yes, webhook. There is a, my keyboard have some issue it seems. Okay, webhook. So update it. Once you update webhooks, I'm going back to webhooks, and still it could not able to recognize. So first time if you do some mistake, it is not going to recognize. So edit it. I'm just copying it, Control A, and delete this webhook. I'm going to recreate it, because first time if it is failed again, it is going to take some time to recognize that it is fine. So I'm again adding it, same URL, our Jenkins server. So this time the spelling is correct. There is no typo, and add this webhook. So once you add your webhook, you can see here it is currently validating whether this URL is correct or not, whether can I able to communicate with this URL or not, and it should show as a tick mark. If it is a tick mark, nothing but I can able to communicate it. Let me refresh it. Yes, you can see here It is came as a tick mark, nothing but I can able to uh, communicate with this particular Jenkins server. Now let's go and do some changes to our test hello program. So this is a Jenkins file which I pushed yesterday. That's okay. So form.xml is there, and source code we are going to update our uh, index.jsp file. So main, under main we have app.java hello world. Okay, just it is displaying the hello world. This is a jar application. So I'm going to change just a hello world to, so welcome to DevOps training I'm giving, and update it. So whenever we update, it is going to communicate with our Jenkins server and it creates the new build. So let's update it. So I have updated, but not, it's not recommended to update from here. Usually you should update from the Git. So now you can see here, third build is under progress. So it is successful. And if I open it, you can see here, we have updated app.java. So this is the default commit it took, and it should able to execute this successfully. It should able to execute this successfully. So now again, if I change it, it automatically triggers this job. So that is how GitHub webhooks does work. So again, we are testing one more time. I will do one more change to our Jenkins job, or else we'll do test on another application, that is a web app project. Quickly I'm going to update or create a new job. So I'm going to create a new job, webhook job 2. I think already I have created one. So you just choose the freestyle project, or else if you want to copy the some configuration from your existing job, what you can do, there is a option to copy from. Okay, I haven't talked about this one, but if you see here, there is a option to copy from, and here you can check out your jobs. If you type some job name, whatever jobs are created in your Jenkins server, those jobs get appear over here, and it will copy the configuration of that particular job. So whatever is there in the webhook test job, same data get copied, or same way this job also get created, and you can modify according to your necessity. So this is how you can copy a duplicate job, but we'll go and check it out. So git URL, it is referring to the test hello job, but I would like to go with the what I can say, this one. So webhook web app project. So change it to web app project, and for this we need credentials, right? Because it is a private repository. So give the credentials, and I should run from the master only. And GitHub webhook, let it be, and Maven goals clean install. So my job is ready. At the same time, I need to go here, go to settings, and choose webhooks, and add a webhook, and take the URL of your Jenkins server, and make sure it should starts with the HTTP. Okay, HTTP colon slash slash, and the URL of your Jenkins. Even you can replace this URL with the IP address as well. So we have IP address, right? Jenkins server IP address, this one. So even you can give this IP address also, not a problem. Let me give the IP address as well, because both will refer to the same thing. And webhook slash, then it is not webhook, sorry, GitHub webhook. So add this one, it could able to communicate, and if I edit it, you can still see this is application is something else. Let it change it to this one, it works with this one, or else you can try with this as well. Okay, you can test it if necessary. So update. Now I'm going to change my code. rather than changing it from here, I will do it from my console. So go to web app project and update it. So I have this code in my local repository. I think I didn't clone it. Git clone. I'm going to clone this repository. Okay. Okay. I have cloned it into my home directory. So I just switch it to home directory. And you can see here, web app project is there. Now git pull, because before modifying any changes, it's better to pull. If there is any changes, it is going to take it. Earlier it was not able to clone because I'm in the home directory. I don't have permissions under the root. That is the issue. So it's already up to date. So now what I will do, I'm going to edit my rather than pom.xml src, go to tree is not here, main, under main we have web app, under web app index.jsp. Okay, vi index.jsp. Just we are editing this one. Whenever we edit and push the changes, whenever we edit and push the changes, automatically our Jenkins job get triggered. Git status, one file is there, git add dot git commit -m, added new line to test GitHub webhook. So we have added into the local repository and git push origin master. Okay, we are pushing our changes onto the master node, and you can see now our job should get a trigger automatically because the changes has been pushed and it is triggering the job, right? So this is how we can use our webhook. Okay, so next we are going to talk about DSL jobs if you don't have any questions. Okay, so let's go to DSL jobs. Okay, so DSL stands for domain specific language. Okay, domain specific language. And first of all, the use of the DSL jobs is something like this. Assume that so far what we are doing, whenever you want to create any job, deploy on Tomcat. Okay, because this is a Polysym, right? That's the reason it is running. If I open this one, because even for Polysym also it identified the changes. That's the reason it is executing at this moment. Polysym. Okay, all right. Anyway, so these many jobs are there, and we need to create each and every job manually whenever it is necessary. Let's take an example that due to some reason you would like to migrate your Jenkins jobs into the some other server, or you would like to recreate it quickly, or else you don't know what by mistakenly you have deleted your job, but you don't know what was the configuration of your Jenkins job. So these kind of problems you may face if you create your Jenkins job manually. Okay, assume that I'm running a created a job called deploy on Tomcat, and after some period of time by mistakenly I have deleted this job. This is not working. Again, either you need to configure manually, or else sometimes you may miss some parameters and which was working with the previous job and it is not working with the latest job. So to overcome these kind of problems, you can use the DSL jobs. So what is the advantage of DSL jobs? You can write your DSL jobs as a script. So the Jenkins DSL job is a job which will create another job pipeline or so and so. So what does it do? It is going to create your Jenkins job. It is going to create your Jenkins job so that In case if you delete your previous job, still not an issue, you can recreate your Jenkins job by using DSL job. Okay, nothing but creating a Jenkins job by using another job. We are going to see that one in a while. Now in Jenkins, sorry, DSL job, you need to install a plugin. Okay, the plugin name is job DSL. This is the plugin you should install. If I click over here, it will take us into the DSL job DSL page, and you can see here this is the DSL sorry, job DSL plugin. And once you have installed, you will get this kind of option. Okay, you will get this kind of option, but this is about the pipeline. Why we are getting pipeline? So this is how your this is again pipeline job. Yep, this is how your DSL jobs looks like. So if you would like to create such kind of project, this kind of project, you can use the DSL jobs. So we are going to create our own DSL job in a while. So once we create your DSL job, you can able to trigger another job. Okay, so this is the procedural document. How can you use and how does it work? But anyway, we are going to execute the same job in a while. So that is about the DSL plugin. So we must install a DSL plugin. Once we have installed a DSL plugin, we can create a job, which I just shown you. We can try with this example first. Once it is working, we can able to change it according to our necessity. Next, DSL job API viewer. So list of the jobs, how do you want to create? It is a little bit of scripting you need to write. It is written in the domain specific language, and how you need to write and some examples. All this information is available under this one, job DSL plugin. Okay, or else what you can do, you can just search for Jenkins DSL. It is going to show you the Jenkins page. This is the what I can say Jenkins page. This is about the plugin, but this is about your what I can say syntax, I can say. So here you will have the Jenkins job DSL API. Here you can search for whatever you need, and you will get the list of the information about how you can create your job. But don't get confused. I'm going to tell you how to use this page. For now, let's go back and check out how the job looks like. So the DSL jobs look like something like this. Okay, you will have a job and job name, and you have flower braces or flower brackets. Under this one, you need to write your code. You need to write your code. But most of the cases, it is quite generic. You can write it, and how to write, if you don't know, you can come and check it out over here. Okay, so first what we will do, we will execute or we will do with this example itself. So first we'll do this one, and I have updated some of the jobs in my GitHub repository. So if you go to ARSR319 and DevOps, and this is a private repository, I'm going to grant access to everyone. And if you see here, here we have Artifactory, Jenkins, Maven. So I'm creating for each and every service the documentation. From past 3 days, I'm working on the documentations itself. So you can see more documents over here. But anyway, here you can see even whatever we just discussed, how to use Webhook, the documentation is here. How can you work with the Webhook? You just need to go through with this one. You can able to follow. Why it is not syntax is not taking? Okay, .md I need to give because it is not the taking the syntax. Yep, you can see here now. Okay, so this is the job you need to follow. You can follow these instructions to create it. Now anyway, so we are talking about DSL jobs. So here we have list of the jobs. I have created 8 jobs. So you can use these jobs. Instead of I have created, I have copied from some other GitHub repositories, which I could see that these are quite simple. So you can follow this one. So first job is, if I click over here, you can check it out. This is the first job. You can copy as it is and you can create your own job, right? So first, let's jump into our what I can say, Jenkins server, and create a new job. Okay. So now we are going to create a job. This job is going to create another job. Okay. So this DSL job going to create another job. So there could be a base job. Base job is going to create another job. This base job, we call it as a seed job. Seed nothing but it helps us to create another job. It helps us to create another job. So if we execute this one, it is going to create a new job. So let's name it as a seed Jenkins job. Okay. So just giving seed Jenkins job, and it is a freestyle project, and okay. So seed Jenkins job I'm creating. And by the way, we need to install Jenkins plugin, right? That is job DSL plugin we should install. I have already installed it. That's the reason again I no need to do, but just apply and save. Let's go back and see how to install that one. I will just show you. I haven't updated anything in the seed job, but just go to manage Jenkins and manage plugins, and you need to search for seed DSL under available tab. But currently it is already installed. Even though I search for that, you don't find job DSL or just DSL. You can search. So I'm searching for job DSL. You can see here there is no plugin, but if I go and search same thing in the install, you can find the job DSL. You can see here this plugin I have installed yesterday during my testing. So this is the job DSL. And go back. Now we just created a seed Jenkins job we just created. And if I open this one, okay, nothing we have configured so far. So let's go to configure. And here first I'm going to copy my example. So nothing you do over here, even in the GitHub link also, you don't do anything. Under build section, you need to choose this option, process job DSL. Okay, this is the option. If you choose this option, it is going to show you this what I can say page. Here you can see here, use the provided DSL script. You can choose this option, or else you can use the DSL, sorry, look on the file system. So if you do look on the file system, you need to provide your GitHub repository where your script is located, and you need to choose your GitHub repository over here. But we are not choosing GitHub repository for now. We are going to do that one in a while. For now, what we do, we just do the DSL script and we'll copy what we have seen in our example. Either we can use this one, or else we can use what is there in the GitHub repository. First, let's start with what is there in the GitHub repository. You can see here job and the job DSL example. So now what it is going to do, it is going to create a new job with the DSL. Okay, so let's copy this one. I'm closing all the unnecessary tabs. So here you are going to copy your syntax. So it starts with job and the job name. Nothing but it is going to create a new Jenkins job. The name is job DSL. Let's use the Veloxy job. Okay, just for testing purpose, Veloxy job I'm using. So it should create a Veloxy job. Under Veloxy job, nothing is there. We haven't specified anything, so it is not going to create anything. I mean to say it's create an empty job. So apply it and save it. Now if I build it, and I will open the one more tab, and if I search for Veloxy, nothing is there with the Veloxy name. There is no job with the any name. So now we are going to execute a seed job. Whenever we execute seed job, it creates a new job over here. That job name is Veloxy job. So let's execute our seed job. Build now, and it is successful. And if I refresh it, it is going to show that what job it has been created. You can see it's created a Veloxy job. And if I go here and refresh, and if I search again Veloxy, and you can see here there is one job has been created with Veloxy. And if you see the content inside to this one, nothing should be there. Why? Because we haven't specified anything in this job. So whatever content you are going to specify within the job, that content is get displayed over here. Get displayed over here. Let's take that. Okay, this for this Veloxy job, I would like to add a description. I would like to add a description. Then I need to go here. This is my seed job, right? So go to the configuration and I need to update my job to add the description. So to add the description, I don't know the what is the entry. I don't know what is the entry, right? Then you can come here and you can search for the description. So description. So ours is freestyle project, right? So you can see here freestyle job. So freestyle job, if I click over here, it is going to give how you need to specify the your description. So this is your job name. Already we have this name, and the description, if you would like to provide, this is how you need to add it. So description is my first job, something like this. You need to add to your seed job, not to the Veloxy job, to seed job. So I'm adding the description over here. Rather than this is my first job, I will give it as a my test job, my test job. So now apply and save. And if I execute, my existing job is going to get updated and it adds the description to this particular job. So let's build now, and build is successful. And if I go here and if I refresh my job now, you can see the description. Yes, you can see the description. It is saying that my test job. This is my test job. Now again we'll go here and update some other configuration. And what you need to update, you have the list of the jobs over here. So first we have just empty job, then we have added description. Next, parameters. Let's add the parameters. And to add parameters, you need to add one more entry called parameters. You need to add one more entry called parameters, and the parameter type you need to provide. So this parameters information you can search again over here, not here, here. If you search for parameters, it is going to display the parameters. And ours is a freestyle project, and if you click over here, you can see here how you need to define your parameters. So boolean, nothing but a true or false. Choices, we have created parameters, right? Nothing but in our job we want to use where we can get this project is parameterized, and add parameters we have done, right? So these parameters, if you want to get it through the job itself, you need to add this entry. Sorry, you need to add this entry, something like this. Okay, choices, options, you need to provide the options like something like this. So same thing I have updated in our GitHub repository. So just copy and paste this one. So you are going to get the boolean, string, and choice parameters. So this is to drop down options you are going to get. This is to true or false checkbox you are going to get. This is you can choose any options. Sorry, this is choices. Here you can fill by default information it will get, and you can fill any information if you need. So let's copy this one, parameters option, and we are going to update our Jenkins job itself. So this is seed job. So everything you need to update in our seed job. So first we have added description. Now we have added the parameters, and apply and save. We have added parameters. Now build. Now if I do, it created a new job. And if I open the new job again, and this time if I go to configure, with the description, it should have the parameters as well, right? Even I can refresh this job, but just try to open the new job each and every time. Okay. So it's just loaded. You can see the option, my test job. This is the description, and this project is parameterized. This option, it has taken it from this particular configuration. So this particular configuration, string parameter, first one, you can see here, string parameter it came, and this is the default value, name and value, and the description. Same thing it is there. So planet is the name, and this default value, this is the default value, is world, and the description, what is the description you want to give. Okay, this is, next one is Boolean parameter. So here you can see, this is the Boolean parameter, you are getting the default value as a tick mark. Next one is choice parameter. Which option do you need to choose? So these are the options which you are getting, and option one is the default one. So like this, your parameters can configure. Okay. Next, SCM. SCM nothing but you would like to get code from your GitHub repository. You would like to get code from your GitHub repository. Then you can go to the SCM. Then you can go to the SCM, and you need to add your Jenkins job over here. You can see here, we have given the description, we have given the parameters. Now we are giving the from where I should clone my repository. So to clone the repository, you need to use the SCM option. So SCM option is going to clone the repository. Now I'm going to give the SCM option in our seed job. So I should copy it over here. And instead of this particular URL, I'm going to change it to our GitHub repository. So what I will do, I will go with this one, web app project repository. Sorry, it is a private. Let me go to the public one. This is hello world, right? So going to hello world program, test hello world. If I am giving this web app project, I need to provide credentials also. I need to do the little research to do or add the credentials to the job. So now what we are going to do is, we are just replacing this URL with the, okay, our own URL, and master is the branch. Master is the branch. From the master you can copy it. So apply and save. And if I build it now for this particular job, apart from these options, you are going to see the, it is going to select the Git, and Git will have a repository. So let's build now. Okay, build is successful, and let's open this job. I'm just closing it. And if I see configuration, and with these parameters, you can see here it has a Git and the URL. What is the URL we have given? Okay, so this is how you can keep on updating your Jenkins job. And if you don't know how to use it, here you have a option. So here we have examples, and if you need more options, if you click over here, it is going to give the more options. Nothing but still more you want to define in your what I can say, job. So under parameters, we have used only this option, and Boolean we have used, right? Yeah, Boolean parameter. So string parameter. Apart from this, we have string parameter. Apart from this, we have few other options. Depends upon what do you need, you can change it to uh, your necessity, but it requires a little bit of practice to write the DSL jobs. It doesn't come that, okay, I can start a day one, because it returns in the domain specific language. Okay, it is like a Groovy script. So you need to follow the appropriate syntax to do that one. The syntax, you can find it over here. Next thing, if I go here, so we just seen the SCM and the triggers. Triggers nothing but when you need to execute your job. We have seen the poll SCM, all this stuff, right? So if you give the triggers cron, okay, if you give the cron, it is going to enable the poll SCM. Currently we haven't triggered this job, right? If I go here, Okay, Polysym is not enabled. Now if I update my seed job with this configuration, it could able to trigger the job. Okay, so inside to this one, okay, this is the job one. This is here it is opening and here it is closing. So all the values should be within the job. That's the reason I'm specifying under to this job and apply and save it. Now if I build it again, build now. Okay, I think this is the one. Huh? No, okay, let me build it again. I'm building my job, so build is successful now. And if I go and open, okay, this build is going to successful whenever there is no error in the syntax. Okay, if I open it and if I go to configuration, I'm just closing it. So go to configuration and if I scroll down with the GitHub, you can see the Polysym has been enabled, build periodically. Sorry, not Polysym, cron is build periodically. And if you want to enable Polysym, you need to go and search over here. Okay, I thought it is a Polysym, but we'll enable Polysym if you want. So if I go here, triggers, because this is the example how you can trigger. This is SCM daily, nothing but a daily it is going to trigger. So poll SCM. So cron string cron. Yeah, you can see here poll the source control for the changes. If you want to enable the poll SCM, you need to give the just SCM. So we can just change it to the SCM configuration. And instead of this one, I'm going to give the SCM and I want to execute it for every minute. Assume that every day 12 o'clock. So 0012 star star star. Okay, 12 nothing but it is again come to 00 midnight 12. If you give 12, it is afternoon 12 it comes. So apply and save and build now. We have updated our job. So now if I go to my job and I'm closing old one and configuration. So this time it should be poll SCM. You can see here 0000 we have given and 3 stars. So this is how you can schedule your job if it is necessary. Okay. Next, we have few other examples. I think I would recommend you to go through with these. So steps are there. So steps nothing but you need to specify that what command you would like to execute it. Okay, so if you add the steps and shell if you give, it is something like this. In our job, what happens, it will go to the build and execute shell. So this option it will enable and whatever content you have given in your job, it is going to display over here. So let's go and do this one. Okay, so now what I will do, I'm going to update my seed job. So far we haven't built this Galaxy job. We are going to build it now. So under seed job, I'm going to add, not here. So trigger should get closed over here. So here we are going to add steps. So steps nothing but you are going to specify what is the job you need to execute under your build, which step you are choosing. If you want to execute the bash command, maybe it could be bash. You can go and check it over here. Okay, like that you can change it. So for now, just execute this one. Hello world, apply and save. And if I build now, okay, so build is successful. Now if I go and open my job, I'm closing my old job, sorry, old job, leave it. So, and if I go to configuration, this time it should add the build option. Okay, everything is fine and poll SCM is also there. Now you can see here build and echo hello world. Okay, echo hello world is there. And if I go back and if I execute this build, I need to build with parameters. Why? Because parameters are enabled, and I can choose the parameters, whatever is necessary. Let it be default and build. If I execute it, it is going to build this job. During the build, it follows all the steps, nothing but it pull the code from the Jenkins, and it is also going to execute the command, but it's failed. Why it's failed?
Under manage Jenkins, configure Jenkins, like there's some option to configure user and email.
Maybe that could be help us. Let's do that one. Configure
System.
system. Maybe, but I'm sure that this is a due to a plugin, because even in Maven also I had the similar kind of issue. So GitHub.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
we have.
Git plugin. Okay, maybe let's try this option. So yeah, Shankar, and okay, apply, save. So let's execute our job one more time. So build with parameters and build. Okay, yes, now it's working. Thank you, yeah. So it is successful at this moment, but I will tell you what could be the reason. Okay, so for now, what we have done is we have updated our details under our Jenkins job, sorry, Jenkins configuration to pick up our username and password. See, now it is successful and it is displaying hello world because our seed job is just executed the cell, and it also pull the code from our GitHub repository. Okay, so now we'll go to again our seed job and we'll update. One last configuration we are going to do is we are going to add our Maven job. Okay, this is done. And if I go to DSL job, and this is to set up our Maven job. Okay, so we'll create our Maven job. If you do remember, we were building our code, right? So from starting, I'm going to write my seed job. So what is the job I can take? Yeah, Maven first job. And if I go to configuration, if you do remember, we were doing taking this URL, and we are going to pom.xml, and we are going to do the clean package. Okay, this is what we need to do, but this is a Maven project. uh, Even though Maven project, we are going to create with the freestyle. So for that one, let's create quickly a DSL job so that even you will get some idea how does it work. So file, new. So DSL job starts with job, and you need to provide your job name, my Maven job. Okay, my Maven job I am giving, and starting and closing. Under this, you need to write your code. So next, you need to clone the repository, right? To clone the repository, you need to use a parameter called SCM. Okay, so if you go to your here, if you search for Git or SCM and freestyle project, if you go, you can see here SCM you need to give, and GitHub URL you should provide. Okay, so I'm giving, or else we can take the example of this one itself. So here we have a Maven job, but we are taking the same one. So first one is job, we have given Maven job, and we have started it here and we closed it over here. Next, if we would like to give the description, we should provide the description to our job. So instead of SCM, let's provide the description. My Maven DSL project, let it be the description. Once the description is done, we need to give the our poll SCM. So SCM we are going to give, and we are going to clone it from the Git. So this is the one, and here we need to replace this one, and this is the master, and this is some additional value to pull it from the master only, otherwise it is not working. I have tested. So you just add this one if you are creating your Maven project, and we want to do it in our script, that is GitHub. Yes, so GitHub test hello project. So I'm just replacing this one. Now we have specified the SEM. Next we need to give the Maven project, right? So for that one, if I go here, sorry, yes, here you can see here steps. Under steps, the build parameters you need to provide. Under steps, you need to provide your build parameter. So let's write steps. Under steps, we are going to specify the Maven. Okay, we are going to build with the Maven, so that's why you need to provide the Maven, or else let me copy this one and we'll change according to our necessity. So Maven build we are doing, and while specifying the Maven, you need to provide the Maven installation path, nothing but configuration. If you do remember, our Jenkins job, sorry, in our Jenkins, if I go to Jenkins and go to manage Jenkins and configure system, under configure system we have configured Maven, right? Sorry, not under configuration, under global tool configuration. Okay, so under global tool configuration, if you do remember, we have set up JDK, Git, as well as Maven. You can see here Maven. So this Maven name we should provide in the installation, Maven version, I can say. Okay, so here Maven installation, you need to provide the Maven path. So currently it is Maven. If you give some other name, Maven, our version is 3.6.6, I think. So if this is the version, you need to provide the same over here. So whatever name you have given over there, same thing you need to give. But here we have given only Maven as our name. Just you need to replace the Maven installation to same one. Okay, so I have changed it to Maven. Next to goals. Goals nothing but what do you want to do? I want to do the clean package. This test we are not doing, just to skip that one, and clean install. Okay, so if you specify like this, it is going to execute the clean install goal. But if I specify like this, it is going to skip the test cases while executing our job. If there is any test cases are there, just to skip those and do the only clean and package. Do the only clean and package, and again you can write one more same entry. There you can specify your test goal. Okay, something like this. Maven installation path doesn't change, and goal I am going to specify the test over here. So first I want to do the package, then I want to do the test. And even if you would like to deploy it on the Artifactory, you can add one more. Okay, because through the deployment we want to do here, you can specify the deploy. Like this you can do, but so far let it be. First what we are going to do, we are just doing the cleaning and package, clean and package, then we are running the test cases. Okay, so this is our job. And if you would like to deploy on the Tomcat server, then you need to add one more step. Okay, that will come under to the steps itself. So once the build is done, no, not steps, it will come other out of steps, nothing but here you need to add something like deployment, and you need to specify the Tomcat server URL and all that stuff. I'm going to update my code to deploy as well, but for now we are going to test with this one. It is, sorry, what does it do? It is going to clone the code from the GitHub repository, and also it is going to do the packaging of our code and then test. So let's update our seed job according to that one, and I'm going to give the new name. I don't give the Veloxy job, and I want to give the my Maven job, right? Yep. So my Maven job is I have given with this name. I don't think so there is a job name is created. Make sure that it is not conflicted. Okay, it's already there. So what I will do, I will give my Maven test job. Okay, my Maven test job with this name. I don't think so a job is there. My Maven test job is not there. So let's create this one, apply and save. Now what will happen if I execute it? So far it is managing only Veloxy job. Now it is going to create the my Maven test job, and it is no more do any changes to this job because we have removed it from our configuration. Okay, let's build it. Now there is no syntax error in our code. The build should successful, but there is some problem it seems. Okay, somewhere we haven't closed it properly. So configuration. So this we have closed here. This we have closed here. This we have closed here. Yeah, steps. Then job one. Yep. You can see here. Now it's closed. Apply, save, and build now. So it is successful, and still it is showing the same job. If I refresh, we have the new job. So it is not going to manage this one. So let's open this one, and if I see the configuration of this one, it should able to add our GitHub repository. Yes, and if I go here, you can see here, it is invoke the top level Maven targets. In the freestyle, it will come something like this. So it's chosen the Maven because in our job, we have given Maven. Okay, here we have given Maven. So same Maven is there. And here we are skipping the test cases, and the test case we are running over here. So we are not changing anything. And let's build it. And you can see here it is cloning the repository, and first it is building, then it is going to do the test cases. You can see here usually test cases were happening about to your build. Okay, but now we have done, first we have skipped test cases. We would like to go with the build first, then we can execute the test cases. So this execution of steps freedom is there in the DSL jobs. Okay, so this is how we can use the DSL jobs. But the purpose of DSL job is just to create your own jobs by using another job. Assume that I have deleted this job. Still no worry, as long as my, what I can say, seed job is there, I don't have any issue. Again, my seed job is going to create it. Even you would like to create the same job, then what I can do, rather than what I can say, uh, telling or giving the procedure how to create a job, I will just share this script with you. If I share this script with you, what you can do, you can create your job in your system without any issues. So the ultimate goal of DSL jobs is convert a pipeline into a script. Convert a pipeline into a script, but whether you want to use the DSL jobs more or not, but few cases we use the DSL jobs rather than DSL jobs. People more tempted to use the pipeline scripts. So pipeline scripts also do the similar kind of activity, but there is no seed job for that one. All these steps, whatever steps we just seen, right? Let's take a Veloxy job. So here we have configured, we will directly create Veloxy job, but rather than specifying all these manually, similar way how we have added DSL job, right? Like that, we can add the DSL jobs in the this kind of field with the pipeline. There you can write your all the code so that it automatically picks up rather than choosing such kind of options. Okay, but pipeline we are going to discuss in next class. So far we have discussed about DSL jobs, and any questions over here, and it is just self-explanatory how to start. I just given the hint, and we have seen some basic way of creating jobs. If you want to go more depth, you need to do research and you need to keep creating the jobs. Again, it is depends upon the necessity, and there is no much complex. Why? Because you just need to know how to define within your particular job. That's it. What is the name I should use? For Maven, it could be Maven. For what I can say, JavaScript, the name could be something else. Something like this, it will be keep on changing. Yep. Sorry here, one more test I want to do. I told you, right? Okay, even DSL jobs are what I can say. Yep, DSL jobs. We can pull it from the GitHub as well, right? So now we are going to pull it from the GitHub. So far we have directly copied over here, but it is not a best practice. But for just understanding, I have given over here. Rather than this one, we need to look for the in the file system. So nothing but go and check in the file system and take that particular job and create the job out of that. Okay, I mean to say, go and check for the DSL script in this particular location and create another job. So my jobs are available under DevOps directory, right? This is our DevOps directory. Under this one, I have a file called jobs. Okay, I have a file called jobs. Here, this is again a Maven DSL, same, and some information is there. Let it be. So what, yeah, I will explain what I'm doing. I'm cloning the repository over here. So this is the repository. This is from the Jenkins docs itself. Simple Java Maven application. I'm cloning it. Once I have cloned, I'm doing the clean package. Then test I'm doing. Then shell nothing but it is going to execute the job. It creates the execute shell. There it is going to create this one Java jar, and we are executing our snapshot. Nothing but whatever package you got it out of this one, you are executing it. This is how you need to execute a jar file. Okay, Java minus jar is a command to execute a jar file. Once you have executed, some output get displayed. Same output you can see. Then publishers. If you want to list out the information to and send you an email to your email ID, so you can do that one. Okay, so let it be. I'm going to create this job by using the DSL job, and I would like to pull it from over here. So what I can do in my seed job, I need to give this URL. In my seed job, I need to give this URL. So let's go and yeah, configure seed job is in edited mode. So seed Jenkins job, and go to GitHub. And seed job you need to create manually. Why? Because this is a what I can say initialization job, and my devops.git is a private repository, so I'm providing my credentials. Then I'm looking for the file system. Nothing but in this repository, where is the job? In this repository, where is the job? So if you go to your repository, we have the Jenkins directory. Under Jenkins directory, we have DSL jobs. Under DSL jobs, our file name is jobs. So this path you need to specify. So till DevOps, it is going to clone. After that, it should go inside to Jenkins, then DSL jobs, then jobs. So copy the path and just make sure that there won't be any special characters. So copy this one and copy it into your job, seed job. So this is seed job, and copy it over here. So now what it will do, it is going to look for this particular job file, I mean to say DSL job in the repository, and whatever configuration is there, if the configuration is correct, it is going to create a new Jenkins job. So now let's build it. Okay, before building, let me see what is the name is there. Not here in my GitHub repository, because I might have created that one earlier. So Maven DSL is there. If it is already there in my Jenkins server, I'm going to delete it. Okay, there is no Maven DSL. It should create a Maven DSL job. So seed job, seed Jenkins job, and now let's build it, and it should create a Maven job. It failed. Let me see what's the issue.
There is an option when we go to manage Jenkins. There is a script approval option.
Okay. Under manage Jenkins, you mean to say?
Yeah. See, there is something like script. Yeah, in process script approval.
Okay. Okay, so it is coming from outside. Approve it. Let me go and I need to re-execute it then. Build now. Okay, this time it is successful because we have approved the script. So Jenkins job name, Maven DSL. This is the previous one. So this is our previous one, but unreferred. This is to added a new one, Maven DSL. If I go to Maven DSL now in our Jenkins job, I should refresh it. And if I look for Maven DSL, you can see here there is a new job created. So far it hasn't executed. And if I go and if I check for the configuration, whatever we have given in the script, same thing it should get added. But this time we have copied it from the GitHub. Okay, so this is the URL we are using, and the build Maven and testing, and also we have added execute shell. It is going to execute this job, and then these all are the reports it is going to generate. Okay, and send the email notification. Okay, this I just copied from somewhere. So now let's build this job, Maven DSL. Okay, so build is successful, and also it is tests and also publishing reports also successful. Okay, so this is how we can able to create or clone the repository from the seed job, and you can see here seed job also. If I click over here again, I will go back to the seed job. Okay, that's all about the DSL jobs, and you need to keep practicing to create more jobs. If you are able to do that one, you will get familiarized more. And one more thing is, if your job is creating from the seed job, don't modify it manually. Assume that Veloxy job, so it was created by the seed job, right? So it is not a best practice to change it from manually over here. If I change something manually over here, something like description, and apply save, so now what will happen? These changes doesn't get reflect in the seed job, right? So again, whenever you run the seed job, whatever changes you have done to your what I can say child job, those doesn't applicable. That's the reason it's always best practice that changing the job in the seed itself, not in the actual job. So that's all for today. Again, see you tomorrow. Bye guys.